Hello aspirants, welcome to Chinmaya Academy for Civil Services. Today we are going to discuss about what social justice is and what all are the things which India have done in recent times in order to achieve social justice in society. So social justice means to have fair and equitable distribution of wealth, opportunity and privileges in a society. Recently, Prime Minister emphasized upon upliftment of four category of people in order to achieve social justice. They were Garibs. Garib means poor. Mahilaim which means woman. Yuva youth and Annadatta, the farmers. So how are we going to uplift them so that the social justice can be achieved? And this is what the agenda of today's session is going to be. So here with the tagline Garib Kalyan, Desh Ka Kalyan, which means if the poor are uplifted, the Desh, which means the country, will also be uplifted with the poor, and that's what this tagline means. So with this, what the government claims is that in the last one decade, that is 10 years, 25 crore peoples are taken out of multi-dimensional poverty index. So speciality about the multi-dimensional poverty index is, unlike the conventional way of calculating the poverty, it also calculates the intensity with a number. So both intensity as well as number would be calculated. Here 25 crore people coming out of poverty means they have come out of the poverty not only from the aspects of number but also from the intensive poverty. That's what you have to keep it in mind. The second point here is direct benefit transfer of 34 lakh crore using Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan accounts, and Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana will be held in a few minutes, where the government was able to save around 2.7 lakh crore rupee, which means the subsidies were rationalized, the leakages were reduced in order with the help of the Jan Dhan Yojana. And the PM Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi also will be discussed. This is for the street vendors, so upliftment of the street vendors, because they hold a very important place in Indian economy because it's a part of unorganized sector. At the same time, they contribute significantly to the Indian economy, Indian GDP. So around 2.3 lakh have been allocated for providing credit facilities to the street vendors through PM Swanidhi scheme. PM Janman Yojana in order to develop the particularly vulnerable tribal group. This also will be discussed in a while. PM Vishwakarma Yojana. So this is to uplift the Vishwakarma, otherwise the crafticians in the economy, the crafticians, in order to bring them to the main scale global supply chain. So all these schemes will be discussed in a detail in this particular video. So first let's discuss about the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. It was launched on August 28, 2014. The date is very important because it was launched exactly a decade ago. It's been 10 years of completion have been done. So that's why this could appear in your upcoming preliminary examination. So one of the largest financial inclusion initiative globally. So this could be a statement which may sound extreme, but this statement is correct. So if it appears in your preliminary examination as a statement, statement has to be made correct. So who is in charge of this particular scheme? It's Ministry of Finance. To provide affordable financial services to vulnerable and economically disadvantaged sections of the society. So here we are trying to include those people who are underbanked or who don't have proper financial literacy, so who are not in the mainframe financial inclusivity is where the people who are the audience here who are going to be addressed. So it creates a platform for universal access to banking facility. So what does the universal access to banking facility means? So universal access to banking facility means at least one person in every family throughout India should have a bank account. At the same time, he should be financially literate, which means he should know how to deposit, he should know how to withdraw the money. At the same time, how investments are done, how the banking process functions. And these are the things which comes under the concept of financial literacy. And it also provides for access to credit, insurance as well as pension facilities. So these all are the things which has to be kept in mind when from the perspective of preliminary examination. So what are the features? First features is these banking services are expanded through branches and banking correspondents. So this covers both urban as well as a rural area. So here we might overthink that urban area will not be covered under this particular scheme, because we assume that urban area everybody will be actually included in the banking sector, but that's not the truth. Here we have to keep it in mind that urban area is also a part of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, and as well as the rural area. So what card is been provided? It's been provided with a debit card, and that's what the point which we have to note it here. So they are provided with a RuPay debit card. So they don't have to maintain any minimum balance, which means they can keep their bank account empty. The accidental insurance cover of 1 lakh, and this date is very important. It's 4 years from the date of launch, which means the people who opened account prior to this particular date will get 1 lakh insurance, and the people who have opened the account post this particular date will be eligible for getting 2 lakh rupees as an accidental insurance. So overdraft facility of 10,000 is available to the eligible adult, and this is the point which you have to note it down, because it's only for the eligible adults, and statement could be coming that overdraft facility is available to every bank holders or every account holders, and that statement is too extreme to be correct. It's wrong. So only for the eligible holders this will be available. So this account would be eligible for the direct benefit transfers and Pradhan Mantri Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, which is a life insurance scheme, and Pradhan Mantri Suraksha Bima Yojana, which is a health insurance scheme, and Atal Pension Yojana, this is a pension scheme. And about these schemes we will be discussing in the upcoming videos. So next scheme is Pradhan Mantri Swanidhi scheme. Swanidhi scheme, the objective is to make the street vendors Atmanirbhar, which means to make the street vendors self-sufficient. So to stand up on their own leg, what we say. So it was launched on June 1, 2020. It is a central sector scheme, which means the scheme is completely sponsored by the central government, which means the whole funding will be from the central government. The nodal agency which would be implementing the scheme would be Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The objective of the scheme is to provide the working capital to the street vendors for their day-to-day acquiring of raw materials, and it incentivizes the regular repayment also through interest subventions and pre-closure facilities likewise, and it rewards digital transactions also through cashbacks, and these are the core objectives of the scheme. So let's understand each and every objective in detail. So this scheme has the component of providing 3 terms of loan to the street vendor. The first term, the 10,000 will be provided on the proper repayment of this loan, and the second tranche of 20,000 will be provided to the street vendor if both the loans are repaid properly, and third term up to 50,000 can be borrowed by the beneficiary. So the loan would be without collateral. So collateral means you don't need to pledge any of the asset or gold likewise in order to get the loan. Without any collateral itself, the loan will be provided to you. So this is one point which has to be noted. So which are the agencies which are eligible or which are the agencies which are used as the tools or agents of this particular schemes are the microfinancing institutions, non-banking financial companies, and self-help groups. So it's available to only those states which have implemented street vendor protection of livelihood and regulation of street vending Act 2014. So there might be a statement which could appear in your preliminary examination which says this particular scheme is applicable to all the states and union territories, which is wrong. It will be only applicable to those union territories or the states which have implemented this particular act. So this is what you have to keep it in mind. If the borrower repays the loan regularly, there would be an interest subsidy of 7% provided to him from the government side on 6 monthly basis. And the credit limit can be extended on proper repayment of the loans, and also his credit scores will be improved if he properly repays the loan. If his credit code increases, which means the future loans will be easier for him to lend. No penalty on early repayment. Generally, what happens is, if you're going to repay the loans early, if you're going to pre-close the loans, you have to pay certain penalties. But in this particular schemes, if you pay the loans earlier, there is no penalty attached to this repayment. The scheme incentivizes a digital transaction, which means the monthly cashback will be provided if more digital transaction is done in order to reduce the usage of cash. This platform will integrate with Udaya Mitra portal of SIDBI and credit management and Paisa portal of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs to administer interest subsidy automatically. About this, we will be seeing in detail in some other videos.